So, what do you do if you own a convertible V8 M3 and your engine pops? Well, you could EFT a lot of money to BMW for a new one, or you could wait for something interesting to come along. While you're waiting, you could order this Pandem widebody kit from Japan and weld the roof shut and borrow some paint from Porsche. And then, what if the engine that came your way wasn't German? What if it hailed from the land of great pasta and dodgy politicians? As far as we know, this is the world's only Ferrari-engined M3.
Oh, and did I mention it's a manual? This is not a car. This is an experience. Let me give you a bumper-to-bumper tour of this incredible build. So it was built by Jonathan and his dad at Rapid, and starting with the exhaust, completely custom stainless steel. They had to rework the manifold at the front to get around the steering column, but it obviously sounds pretty fantastic. Rear drivetrain is as it was on the M3, so the diff and the side shafts remain the same. Things get quite exciting in the clutch department. They actually took the pressure plate from the Maserati and the clutch plate from the BMW and somehow managed to get them to work together. You know, getting Germany and Italy to cooperate is pretty tough, but they managed to do it. 6-speed manual in there from the M3. Obviously the wide body kit just looks fantastic. The wheels and tires, it's running 19s, 325s on the back. That's a little bit larger than stock, I think. And then of course the party piece, the Maserati Ferrari engine. So built by Ferrari. The main difference between the two applications was Ferrari used a flat plane crank. In the Maserati, you've got a cross plane crank. So it sounds a little bit different, but it also creates more torque. Other than that, the motor is pretty much standard. They had to cut a few things here and there. The cross member, they had to move the sump a little bit, and the engine actually envelops the gearbox by 35 mils as well, which allowed them to push the motor back as close to the firewall as possible. It really is an absolutely fantastic build this. In the future, they're looking at going with individual throttle bodies, which I think will be fantastic for the car. And then the owner says that when he gets bored, he's going to twin turbocharge it. That's probably going to be quite exciting. Right, startup procedure. Key in the slot. Start button. Wait for the fuel pump. And then there's a secret little button down here. So I mean, this is a private vehicle, but just the opportunity to drive something like this, a complete one-off, a build that South Africa can be really, really proud of. There is nothing like this in the world. How cool is that? And I just absolutely love the fact that at the moment it's an NA manual. This is probably the most incredible Frankenstein of a car that I've ever driven. It makes no sense. Why would you put a Maserati Ferrari engine in a BMW M3? Well, why not? I mean, think about it this way. If you go to Ferrari right now and you say, hello, I'd like a manual Ferrari, they won't sell you one. they don't make them anymore. So these guys have created something really special. It seems like these days, if you want a manual Ferrari, you have to make one yourself. And that's what they've done.
But it really hasn't been easy. This project is into its third year now, and the owner and the builder worked tirelessly through the weekend to get this car ready for us to film. It's very much still a work in progress, but it's already very, very good to drive.
It's fantastic. So it's currently on a shakedown map so that they can iron out all the niggles and make sure that nothing breaks. So it's pushing about 220 kilowatts to the wheels at the moment, which is obviously way below what the motor's capable of. And yeah, it doesn't feel that fast right now, and I can't wait. Hopefully they'll let me drive it when it's been properly tuned. They're aiming for probably just about 250 at the wheels, which is what this engine used to put out in standard tune. Second gear, let's ring it out. Okay, I kind of forgot how to present there a little bit. Ooh, second is fun. What I'm so impressed with is how well this car handles. They're running it on full air suspension, but it's a self-leveling system. So it kind of sorts itself out in the corners. And it's actually really impressive. It's giving me a lot of confidence through these twisties here at the rock. But it does feel like this engine's got long legs, so that it is nicely set up. The steering is nicely weighted. Doesn't feel artificial. This is actually the steering wheel from an M3 CSL. And for some or other reason, they decided to cut out the center carbon fiber bit, which I think would make it interesting if you had a bit of opposite lock on and then grabbed for, for the wheel and just got fresh air. Oh, I feel really lucky. I mean, they've literally this weekend got this car right. It's got such a light flywheel. I can't believe how quickly it revs up. You'd expect a big capacity V8 like this to be a little bit lazy, but it just blips. It revs so fast. Such a tiny flywheel they've put on this. And what you end up with is probably one of the most beautiful, unique, modified cars. In fact, you can't call this a modified car. This isn't modified. This is built. This is a one-off.
The day we filmed this, I drove a fully electric Volkswagen e-Golf to and from the track. I don't think you could find two more opposite cars to drive in one day. But it really got me thinking about the future of cars and the future of projects like this incredible build.
And there's no doubt in my mind that this is the future of day-to-day transport. But that's a story for another day. The thing is, this isn't the past. I think cars like this have a wonderful future ahead of them. In fact, the more we drive cars like this, the more we're going to want to drive cars like this, the more we're going to want to build cars like this. These things aren't going anywhere. In fact, I only think that they're going to become more exciting, more innovative, more interesting as the electric revolution happens. So don't worry, electric cars are not going to make these cars boring or make them disappear. And just think about it this way, with all the money you save on fuel by driving an electric Golf, you can spend more money on your builds.
Did you know that we also sell really awesome car-themed merchandise? Check out our range of custom t-shirts and prints at our online store now. Simply click on the square box on your screen and we'll take you there, or the link is in the description below. Thanks for watching.